Hello, today is Wednesday, December 27th, 2024. My name is Daniel Mullany, and behind the camera again we have Nico Greina. And today we are here to film a video source inspection of two new SITEK Spin Rinse Dryers. We have a couple different POs for these tools, but they're going to the same end user. This system, our single stack, has a PO number that ends in 67079, where this system has a PO number ending in 67080. Both these systems are shipping here in the United States. These systems are configured the same, other than, as you can tell, one of them is a double stack where the other one is a single stack system. And then we also have a slightly different configuration with the rotors, where our single stack system is an A92-39M cassette and substrates for running squares. We also have another one of those squares rotors for this system. However, we only have one of the cassettes, so we'll be demoing with rounds in both of the chambers. And for this cassette number, we have A182-39M. So this customer is running both our square and round substrates, both for 4-inch. These systems are spec'd out to go to 6-inch max. What I'll go ahead and do is get the process started for all of the chambers, and then we'll get going. You may see that this is a blue light. That means we haven't opened and closed the door since the last process run on that chamber. So, okay. Here we have our full load of square substrates. Okay, jumping into rinse. Everything looks good. Coming over to our next chamber. Here we're running our 4-inch squares, or sorry, rounds, as I mentioned. Coming to this chamber, here we're running our rounds, as I mentioned. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we have our additional, here we have our additional rotor for the square substrates that was also purchased for that double stack. So I just wanted to show that we already have that guy on hand, and we'll be shipping with the systems as well. What I'll now do is probably easier for me to slide around on this side is I'm going to go ahead and identify our system's serial numbers for our end users. On the double stack we have SRD 01681, and on the single system we have SRD 01682. I'm also coming back here to take a look at the drain boxes and the drain setup overall. Everything is flowing out properly and there are no leaks. I'm also able to actuate the water recirc valve from the back of the system. On both chambers, the water recirc is working properly. Okay, perfect. Everything looks good over there. All right, coming to the front of the tools, I can see that we've already completed our rinse and our purge process steps, and now we are moving into dry 1, which is traditionally our high RPM dry step. All of the chambers are running great, and I can see from inside the chamber that it looks like the majority of the water has already whipped off of the cassette and substrates to the chamber walls, and we're having successful dry process in all 4 chambers. I can also, using our slick device controllers, take a look at each one of them and notice which valves and actuators are currently active. I can see that our dry valves are open. We have about 3 amps being consumed on all of our N2 heaters, as well as about 4 amps being consumed with our heater blankets. So all of that information is displayed here on the front screen of our slick device controllers, so I get good information knowing that the components for each process run are actually working correctly in each chamber. These new systems manufactured by us are also configured with all of our standard 3 options. That would be a resistivity probe in the drain box that allows you to test the resistivity of the drain of the wastewater. We also have an anti-static unit that's going to provide a static discharge to the chamber during the dry 2 process. So that way, if you have any cassettes or any product that's sensitive to static, we can eliminate that. As well as we're going to prevent any particle migration to the cassette and substrates when we remove it from the process chamber. And then we have our third feature on these chambers, which is DI water recirculation. You can plumb that up to your full house recirculation, or you can just leave it hooked up to the drain box as we have it. Set the valve for a slight trickle, so that way you're just having a constant flow of DI water to prevent any bacteria growth. Okay, so we are now going into our dry 2 step. I can see that the static eliminator that I mentioned is active on all of our chambers, and we are, other than that, running the same valves and actuators as we were from the previous step. The main difference that we're going to see then as well is that our RPM has dropped substantially. So during our dry 1 process, we're going to be spinning at 1800 RPM, again spinning fast to whip water off of our cassette and product. After that step though, we're going to ramp down to about 500 RPM, which is where we're going to let the heating elements of the system complete the drying process. This has proven to be one of the ideal ways to do your rinsing and drying, is a short high RPM step followed by a longer low RPM dry step in order to maintain a good workflow through your system, as well as minimize particles added from the system, so that way you can have the cleanest possible substrates with minimal contamination for the next step in your manufacturing process. Okay, so we are got about 3 minutes left. So in addition to providing new spin rinse dryers with, of course, 100% of the parts and service support needed to maintain our equipment, we also have the capability of providing refurbished systems, as well as a variety of different parts and services for existing spin rinse dryers in the field. Whether you have a semi-tool system, a Retec system, a Vertec tool, or even some of the other less standard brands of spin rinse dryer, we are capable of supporting them with parts and service. Whether that's a consumable that you might need, such as like a window, a door seal, or some tubing, or a component needing replacement like a motor, a solenoid valve, or an upright positioner, or you need some kind of service such as a controller repair, a motor controller repair, or even our most valuable service, the full system refurbishment. We offer all of that for any of the spin rinse dryers that you might have in your building right now, so that way we can help you maintain your fleet. The spin rinse dryer, when it comes down to it, is really a kind of a set it and forget it tool in the fab, right? So these tools are going to be worked non-stop, they're going to get limited PMs, and frankly, they're often overlooked as to their role in the manufacturing process. That is, until it breaks down or you have high particles and you're frustrated because your $500,000 wet bench is now down because a $50,000 spin rinse dryer isn't available to support it. So if you're seeing this video right now and thinking about your equipment as maybe going through that experience, this is a perfect time to get in touch with us. We can work with you to take some photos of your system, come on site to do an evaluation, or really just provide some free over-the-phone technical support to understand what situation you're in and what options you have in order to get your tools back up and running into tip-top shape. Some of those options can be very inexpensive, such as replacing a filter and maybe some seals, or they can be extremely valuable to you, such as sending your tool in for a full refurbishment. When we do that full refurbishment, we're going to return our systems to you in like new condition, because all the metal is chemically cleaned and electro-polished, every consumable is replaced, all of the components are rebuilt, and then we have QC processes throughout that entire remanufacturing. So that way, when we're done, we have a system that's in like new condition with a 1-year warranty, ready to plug and play back into your manufacturing process. And now you can probably do the same thing you did last time, set it and forget it for years to come. Okay, so we're now down to the last few seconds of our 470S system right here. So in about 5 seconds, we're going to see this tool ramp down. We'll get a blue completion light and we'll know it's okay to remove the product from the chamber. Perfect. I heard the door seal release. I can see blue. Now we can do a few things. We can acknowledge it from the touchscreen if we'd like. That would provide an acknowledgement. Or you can just open the door, which I'll show you on the next chamber. The cassette is warm and the product is dry and ready for the next step in the manufacturing process. Now, as I mentioned, you can just open the door as well. Our round substrates are dry, the cassette is warm, and we're ready for the next step. Okay, on to the last chamber. Our cassette is warm, substrates are dry, and we're ready for the next step in our process. All right, so I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view our successful video source inspection for today. Again, my name is Daniel, and this video is filmed for SITEK Process Solutions. To learn more about us, please check out some more of the videos on our YouTube channel, including our how-to and educational videos, which are great for learning more about how spin rinse dryers work. Go to our website at www.sitekprocess.com or just pick up the phone and give me a call, 916-797-9000, and if you want to call me directly, use extension 2201. Thanks for your time and have a great day.